Okay guys, so for the first setup on A, first thing you want to do is jump up here and then make the jump to the top hut and place your camera as high as you can up here. This camera gives you less vision into art, but because we're playing in dugout, we just want it to be as unbreakable as possible. For tripwires, the main one you're going to want to be throwing is just this one right here, because it hard protects backside and you can still wallbang off of it. For the rest of your trips, for your second trip, you have a ton of options, but this is the main one I've been starting with. I will show some alternative ones at the end of the A site area. For cages, I'm just throwing one over here to cover my side there. And then for the second one, I'm just banking it off of here. You don't actually need a lineup for this. And now, I'm just playing from dugout, showing when they walk in, you can try to get a tag on the planter, or if they run into this tripwire, you can wallbang them, or wallbang the planter off the trip. If they break your trip that's backside to protect you, it gives you timing to pop this one way, or to pop just your normal cage. Alright, so for the second setup, you want to place your camera in the corner here. You want to place one of your cages to the right of this black dot on the floor. And for your second one, you're going to come into this corner, look at the middle of the top of this windowsill, and then look up until you reach this mark here. And throw. For trips, this is the main one I'm throwing, because it just hard protects you. There are a ton of different options you can use. I guess one of the main ones I would use is something like this. So for the setup, instead of playing in dugout, you're playing backside off your camera. When you see people walking in either this way or this way, you can pop this cage. It blocks off both this way and this side of sight. You can play inside of the cage, spam off your tripwires. If they start planting, you can use this cage here. This will only work once, by the way. After using this the first time, I would recommend just placing both your cages here or placing another one on this side. So once they start planting, you can pop this and you can just walk through it like this and kill planter. You'd actually be surprised, even in like Ascendant Immortal lobbies, this thing still works the first time. So for alternative tripwires, here are the ones that I would recommend. There's also this one. Keep in mind for this one, you have to throw it after the barrier drops. Okay, so for B site, we're starting off with the camera for the setup. We're showing this one here. This camera is just insanely strong. Honestly, you could use this literally every single setup and it'd be fine, but we'll mix it up for some of these. For tripwires, I'm gonna place one here, just so one side is covered by the pipe. And a second one right here to protect us from the Hall's push and for the planter here. For cages, throwing the one way here, and we're throwing a second one right on this black dot. So for the setup, you have B link info. If they rush B main, your camera gives you timing to pop your one way. And if they start running into your tripwires, you have your cage to pop to spam your trips. If they push from a B link, this cage can be pretty flexible in that it doesn't just cover up this, it covers up the B link push. You could get out with it, you could use it to stall back Hall's control. This cage can also be used to walk to right here, because this is right where the cage ends, so you can use this to get timings, to peek off the angles like this. It's a pretty flexible cage. And I wouldn't exactly call this a second setup, it's more of a variation on this setup. But if the enemy team is pressuring more through B-Link than they are through main, you can swap up your camera and your one-way for B-Link. starting with camera, you can place it right here. This one gives you pretty decent vision on sight, but it also gives you vision in beat link, so it doesn't get broken early, but gives you good timing when to pop one way. And for the one way, I don't exactly have a lineup for this, I just throw it. And now we're playing basically the same thing. We're playing from backhaul. If the camera sees people here, pop the one way, get a free kill, and then play the setup the exact same as the other one. Okay, so for a retake set on Bomb B, starting with the camera, we're placing it right here. For cages, place one on the corner here, and one on the corner here. And then for tripwires, you can do whatever you want as long as you're able to see them from heaven. I'll probably do something like this, or like this normally, or throw something like this. Okay, so playing the setups are really simple. You're just playing in heaven. When you get smoked out, you spam off your tripwires to get free kills. You're saving your camera for a retake. When they start planting, you can tap the camera for info, tag the planter here or here, and if they're planting on this box, you are able to pop both of these cages, ping the top of the box to make the jump easy, and jump up top to kill planter. Okay, so for the final setup on B, make sure they don't have a KO before they're doing this, because almost every single KO will knife over here somewhere, and you'll just get all your util turned off if you're playing this. Starting with cameras, place your jump throw, place this here. This camera gets super early vision on B main and sees B link, but if they're B main, it will get shot up super easily. For tripwires, you can throw, honestly, you can throw anything that's in this area. It does not matter. Ideally though, you want to use more aggressive tripwires that you haven't been using with your other setups to catch them off guard. Okay, so for cages, you're placing both on the tip of this white line here, and you're just playing backhaul. When the round starts, you pop this camera to get early info on B main and B link. If they start running up B main, when they hit one of your trips, you can pop this cage, just spam off of them, get a free kill. If you need to use both to spam off of, use both. Otherwise, if they make it on site, you can use your second cage to just keep yourself alive, or if they try to plant for long, you can pop this cage, and this cage actually acts as a one-way effect for the people planting in this corner. Their back of them or their arms will stick out while they can't see you.